Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something that we all need, especially if you have chronic fatigue. This is going to be my basically every weekend routine of meal prepping. And I'm going to show you how I do it, how I manage my chronic fatigue, and how to make this as easy as possible. When I see a meal prep video, how it applies to me is really what food do I need to buy, how much is it going to take for me to make this food, and then what is going to be the cleanup process, which is so frustrating when you have chronic fatigue. And if you're something like me, I hate doing dishes. So yes, I'm going to show you some of the recipes I do, but ultimately, this is just going to be how you can optimize your meal prepping. The focus of this video is really how to make meal prepping the absolute easiest thing ever, especially when you're suffering with chronic fatigue. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Melissa, and I created Guts of Glory and Gold because I have Crohn's disease and spondyloarthritis, and so I just want to create a platform where people that have any autoimmune disease, any illness, can come here and hang out and feel like they're never alone, because I feel like it's a very isolating experience to have a chronic illness. So with that said, if you could please like this video or subscribe to my channel, that would really mean a lot to me. And if you guys have any tips that you use to make meal prep so much easier, please list them in the comment section down below, because it's so helpful. Remember, we are never alone. We rely on each other to get by. With all of that said, let's just get started into the video. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to recommend is consolidate your ingredients from multiple recipes. For example, I have a bunch of sweet potatoes here. They're all a little bit different. These big mamas, I'm actually going to make mashed sweet potatoes, so I'm just going to chuck them in the oven that's already preheating. I have a tray right here, so I'm just going to set it here. Boom, done. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm probably going to add this fat one with them. Maybe this one. We'll see. So I'm making mashed sweet potatoes for one recipe that I call cracked chicken, because it's so good. It's like there's crack in it, if that wasn't clear to you guys. But I also really need to work on adding more carbs to my diet, more healthy carbs. And so every morning for the past few mornings, I have been having sausage, eggs, and sweet potato. This is a perfect example where I'm using one ingredient for two separate meals, and I'm just going to season them differently, and I'm going to cook them differently, so it's going to not make it seem like I'm eating the exact same thing every single time. So this is a perfect example of what I mean by using the same ingredients, but just using them differently. For example, these are going to be mashed and seasoned with cinnamon, and so they're going to taste completely different than my savory breakfast sweet potatoes. I'm also going to roast these and chopping them up right now, as you can see. So it's going to be different, so I'm not going to feel like I'm eating the exact same thing every single time. And that's where I really think you guys should take advantage of spices. So right here I have two different types of sweet potato, ones that are going to be mashed and then seasoned with cinnamon, and then the cut up sweet potato I have seasoned with paprika, and I'm just going to chuck them in the oven. And putting the sweet potatoes in the oven is my segue to my next tip, which is utilize one form of cooking. So perfect example is just using the stove or the oven, not both. Go to Pinterest, Google, wherever, and look up one pot recipes or one pan dishes where you just put everything in the oven and that's it. That's where you save up time with cooking, because you're just shoving everything onto one pan or to one pot and you don't need to worry about it. And I also personally think that when food is cooked together, it's just more flavorful, but you're also saving on cleaning time. The next step of my meal prep is a combination of two really helpful tips. The first one is to utilize cooking pots. So that could be an Instapot or a crock pot. I personally use the Instapot for the majority of what I make just because of how fast it is. But if I'm going to make a stew or chili or something that I want super flavorful, that's when I'll use a crock pot. It's really up to you. But the second tip is that if you are using an Instapot, you can utilize frozen meats. It's super helpful to have things on hand. I cook chicken almost every single weekend and shred it up, and that's what I use for my salads. So I have 2 chicken breasts, I think, in here, and it is 1 solid mass, which is not recommended, but the thing is just to cook it a little bit longer. You also want to make sure so though it's not recommended to cook it in 1 gigantic mass, the trick is just to cook it for longer, and to not lose flavor is to add some bone broth, vegetable stock, whatever you want to use. I would recommend with what I'm doing, so you want to fill this up with liquid to cover the meat that's in here, and I'm going to do about half water, half bone broth. So as you guys can see, I have made 5 salads, and I have a salad every single day for lunch. But as you can see, they're not boring salads. If you guys want to see recipes of my fun creative salads, please let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to create them. And then I also plan on doing a video on how I started eating vegetables, because I know that I have a video out there saying how to eat vegetables, but my personal journey of how I slowly started eating kale and things like that, that's a big step, you know. So I think I'm going to do a video on that. But if you guys want to see something about my salads, I would love to make that video for you. But as you can see, I made 5 salads that are the exact same, and I'm sure you might be thinking that that is super boring, but if you remember a tip from the beginning of this video, it is all about adding different flavors. So I have 2 salad dressings that are my absolute favorite. Oh my god, I'm telling you guys that like a salad dressing takes the salad to a whole nother level, and it truly makes you want to eat the salad. So I have 2 here. One is the Ken Steakhouse Light Raspberry Walnut Vinaigrette, and this one is a bit more sweet, and but it's not too sweet because it has that vinegar, you know what I mean? It's super delicious. As this one, this is the Brienne's home style champagne style vinaigrette dressing, and I was at the Colorado Nonprofit Association convention and had a salad there, and they put a dressing on it that I like have never tried before, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? And they told me it was champagne style dressing. So as soon as I found that out, the next time I went to the grocery store, I bought this and have repurchased 3 bottles in the past 2 months. I'm telling you, it is so good. When it comes to salad dressings in general, I highly recommend Brienne salad dressing. I really try to have salad dressings that don't have a lot of ingredients to it. And then side note, there are always so many like salad recipes out there that are great salads, but then when you have that dressing, they always have lemon and olive oil, and though that is delicious, I don't want that every single time I have a salad. I don't want to hate what I'm eating and drench it in lemon so I don't have flavor to it. I'm all about flavor. I'm all about enjoying food, and so I highly recommend getting some salad dressings that you like. Make sure you can understand all of the ingredients that are in the bottle. And also, you know, kind of stay within your limits. If you're going to have a salad every single day, yes, ranch is absolutely delicious, and I have like so much ranch in my refrigerator, but that isn't the healthiest option out there. So try to find something that tastes delicious but is also healthy and that you are enjoyed to eat. So I have these little containers that you can get from Amazon. Well, I buy everything from Amazon. I'm an Amazon whore. So buy 4 of them, and I have 5 things. So when I'm done with one, I'll just refill it and put in the other thing. Make sure you shake it up. And one of my last tips is to not be afraid to utilize pre-made items. So a perfect example is rotisserie chicken. I buy a rotisserie chicken almost every single week. I didn't today because they're out, but I really wanted one. If I don't cook my chicken in the crock pot and shred it, I will just use rotisserie chicken for my salads. It makes things so much easier. But also don't be afraid to buy things that are, you know, just things that you throw in the oven, things that things in the deli section or like the grocery vegetable section of like stuffed mushrooms, things like that. Just be as careful as you can be of reading the ingredients, making sure that it's okay to you, that you have no allergies, and that overall it's the best for you. I wouldn't be hesitant of doing that. A perfect example of something that I use almost every single time I cook is crushed garlic. Whatever you do, do not buy pre-cut garlic because that loses its flavor dramatically. So do not buy anything that's in a jar, but when it comes to a paste, I find that using this does keep the flavor and really makes things so much easier, so I don't need to waste, you know, 10 minutes or whatever to chop up some garlic. I can just use this. Okay guys, that is the end of my video. I hope that it was extremely helpful to you. If you guys have any other additional tips, please list them in the comment section down below. Yes, I know there is a box of cereal up there. I threw it up there because it was a fly and I can't get it down. So it's been up there since May. So it's always there in my cooking videos, so I sincerely apologize. What's done is done. If you guys have any tips and recommendations, please list them in the comment section down below. I will leave all of the recipes of what I have cooked down in the description bar down below. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel so you guys can keep up with me and all of my tips and tricks for having a chronic illness. And remember, you are never alone. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!